HooHooHooRobin.
Yeah, where do we begin, man? God, I called up Jim Norton last night. I'm like, hey, Jim, man, I'm bored. You want to get a bite to eat? He's like, dude, I'd love to, but I'm banging this chick. Or you just finished or
I just
something.
finished and we were at Starbucks.
Yeah, and you were at Starbucks?
Yeah, having a cup of Joe.
Why not?
Can't say your name, though, but...
Oh, really? Okay. Well, it was an email. It started with an email that was sent to all of us, I guess.
Yeah.
I read this email. Jim read this email. If Anthony's mailbox wasn't full, he would have read this email.
Why do I care?
And others got this damn thing. I'll read it, okay? Hi, guys. Blank here. I've been a long-time listener and really love your show. I'm in a not-so-common situation, and many have told me that I would make a great guest on your show. Well, here it goes. I'm an attractive 40-year-old married bi female who has a very understanding hubby who lets me play with others. I've been a shared wife for most of my 21 years married. I did take a few years off to raise my son. Oh, what a nice mom.
What a gal.
He has no interest in betting other women. His sole attention is me. I, on the other hand, love to play. I have had over 50 men, women, and couples, all of which hubby is aware of and most of whom he has met. I am loyal to only him. With others, it's just sex. There is no cuddling, etc., etc.
Well, thank goodness. that pretty much makes the marriage okay then.
No kissing?
Yeah, we kissed, but we didn't cuddle afterwards. If I was at her place, she would have kicked me out.
Really?
She's fantastic.
You're like a whore.
Dude, she rolled over. She was just so finished with me after.
Wow.
She's great.
Wow. Yeah, and she writes in the email, do me and get out. We have a great marriage and our sex life is fantastic. I don't want to bore you with a long, drawn-out email. I do have tons of stories to tell. If you think this might make for some interesting on-air talk, please get back to me. I live about 65 miles north of New York City, so getting to you is not a problem. I'm not shy and have very few limits. Pain and potty games are out. Sorry, Jim. I have no qualms about getting naked. I would also love to perform for you on the lesbian couch, if it's still around. It is, by the way. I'm going to attach a picture or two for your inspection. Hubby is far from a professional photographer, and everyone I've met say my pictures do not do me justice, so please keep that in mind. Thanks for your time. Hope to hear from you. Signed, blah, blah, blah. Wow. So, yeah, I got the email. I gave it to Ben and Steve, and I'm like, well, yeah, I guess we could do something with this girl, you know? And little did I know at the time that she also emailed Jim, and Jim aggressively pursued this right off the bat.
Well, of course.
Let me see these pictures again.
Well, I get so many crackpot emails like you guys do. I didn't really believe it. I'm like, come on. So I emailed it back just like 'cause she's hot. So I'm like, all right, let me email it back. And she emailed me back, and we started chatting. And usually it's like guys do that all the time. They'll email you their IM, and they go, hey, I'm a chick, and they'll send you pictures off some website.
Yeah.
So with her, I'm like, we talked on the online for a few minutes, and we talked on the phone. And she's like, she was going to come down, I think, that day. She's like, I'll come down to the city on the train. I'm like, oh, very nice. But I couldn't because I think I had some gigs or something. So we made plans for Sunday.
You're hysterical, man.
And lo and behold, if she didn't show up.
Yeah.
I had to, I slept all day, so I got up at like 3. And I got a message from her saying, I'm going to leave at 2:30. So I'm like, we missed each other because I didn't talk to her. So I'm talking to her online, and she's like, well, I can come now. I'm like, but I have shows at 9 o'clock. She's like, so what? You can just see I'm a real person. We'll hang for a little while. She was almost telling me, like, look, dumbbell, I don't need to hang out and talk to you.
Hey, ass.
Is she attractive?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I can't really tell in these pictures because she looks older.
Yeah, she's 40 or 41. She has an adult son. I mean, she's been with the same guy for a long time. Oh, she's sexy.
Breast implants.
Yep.
Jim fucked your mom.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I said she's a MILF, and Steve said, no, she's an MIDF. I'm like, yeah. Mom, I did.
Oh.
A MIDF.
Right.
It was a little funnier when Steve said it. Probably not, actually. I was just so happy. I'm in such a good mood today that everything just kind of makes me smile.
Well,
yeah.
I can be handed a mealy apple, and I'd go, I like them soft.
I'm looking at these pictures. She's on her knees looking up at the camera with her breast implants and her big eyes. In the background, I noticed there's like a wood heart.
I didn't even notice that.
I wonder if this was taken on Valentine's Day.
Oh, probably.
Maybe, right?
Some kind of wooden like heart thing in the background of that picture. And then she's topless with a little Catholic schoolgirl type skirt on a pool table,
right?
With her panties around her ankles, and she's got like spiked shoes on and all that, and looking pretty good there. And then is this her hubby?
I don't know. I don't think that's her husband.
No, her husband takes the pictures, right?
Right. I think that was. I don't believe that was her husband, the one holding her head there, and about adenoids deep with his mule. Yeah, I think that's.
So this is one of the dudes she does, and the husband's taking the pictures.
The husband snaps a few off, and then there's another chick under her there, huh?
There is?
You should see the gangbang footage she has.
That's a different chick. Yeah,
I thought she was just very
nimble.
Yeah.
No, that's another girl that she's apparently.
Oh, okay. So there's kind of like a 69 thing almost happening, but
right.
Instead of reciprocating the other woman, she's doing the guy there. Wow. She
has some great. She told me she has like a thing on adult friend finders, which I always think those profiles are garbage.
Yeah.
But she said she's gotten like 90,000 views on this thing. It's all guys on these profiles, and occasionally I guess she's for real
chick.
And really nice.
Wow. So how was it?
Yeah. So what happened? She comes. She shows up.
Well, she had sent me a couple of video clips. She has gangbang. Her husband bought her like a 4 black guy gangbang for her birthday.
Really?
It's the greatest thing ever.
Wait, the guy bought her 4 black guys to bang her
for her birthday.
So what possesses a husband to do this?
I don't get it either, but apparently there are a lot of guys. And I've met a few couples like this.
Like, what's the problem? What's the mental problem? Because there is one. What would drive a guy to want to, some are mother issues, some are, child abuse issues. What's the issue that would drive a man to love a woman and then invite 4 Negroes over to have sex with her?
And where do you find the 4 Negroes?
They actually had some kind of site. I don't know either because I'm
Chappelle Show. Is that the site?
Yeah, I thought I recognized Charlie Murphy. I saw the Ring holding a big cock. I'm like, I've seen that before. Oh yeah, I shook hands with it. I don't know. It's like, but again, I'm such a weirdo in bed too. So it's like there's something there to it. But it's common enough with couples that there's something there. It's like I think it's a submission in the guy's part.
There is absolutely some kind of submission thing there. Something.
She's very sexy in bed, man. She's comes over. We're sitting there. She's wearing like this, because it's cold out. She's wearing the high boots and like a long past the knees skirt, form fitting. She's a great body.
Yeah.
And we're talking on the couch. And we just start making out like 5 minutes into it.
Quick.
Yeah. Well, she's an adult. She's not 20. I didn't need the whole like let's go get coffee
over
nonsense.
at your place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
She didn't even want to see the rest of the place. She could care less. Yeah, I think she wanted to make sure I wasn't a psycho. And her husband actually talked to her while I was there. She's like, look, I'll get naked, but I have to wait for the phone call. She's like, I have to talk to him first, let him know I'm all right.
There's a system?
Well, apparently.
This is so weird, man.
Apparently what will happen is he'll call, and just to make sure she's okay, she's like, just in case you're odd or whatever, there's like an out. She's like, if she didn't like me or if I was a jerk, she could have, like, he'd call and she pretends it's an emergency and then she leaves. That's like the out.
Gotcha.
And I'm sure he has the address and all the information, phone number, whatever else. So he called, and I hear him. He's on speakerphone. He's like, "You all right?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And then they said, "I love you," and she hung up the phone.
Oh, Jesus! And then you...
Did he sound like kind of jealous?
No.
In his tone?
No. Because she told me, I asked her afterwards, if he asked you that, like, I don't want to do this anymore, I'm not comfortable with this, she said she'd stop without a... She's like, I'd stop immediately. It's just something they're both into, and she's pretty no bullshit, so I believe her.
How could he be into, like you can almost understand in that sick way the guy sitting there watching, if you have these mental issues that you have to see that. But what's in it for him if she's away, miles away, banging a comic?
Well, I would say a Joe Craftsman, if you want to put it that way. That's probably how they worded it to each other. I think that he would go back, or she would go back, and describe to him in detail what happened. Because I knew another woman that would kind of do that. She was into coming over, and she would just kind of perform oral sex, and she said her husband loved to hear about it when she would go home. She would just talk about everything she did.
Yeah.
And I can understand that in the context of, I wouldn't want a girl I was dating or married to having sex with somebody else. But just being talked to, like, for instance, when this woman and I were kissing and fooling around, and then she starts going down on me.
And this was minutes after she hung up with the husband.
Oh, yeah, dude.
It's amazing.
I love you. As her finger was hitting the end button, my mouth was on her neck, and I was feeling her fine breasts and large nipples, and very happy with myself, I might add. And she takes off her clothes, and she's like, just take it out. Of course I did.
Wow, really? Right to the point.
Absolutely no bullshit with her. And she starts going down on me, and it's fantastic. And we start kissing again. We go into my room, and I have to go down on her, and it's just, it's like that kind of noise just from touching it. You know the type of girl who gets so wet, it sounds like rubber shoes and mud when you touch it.
So she was really turned on by
dude,
this.
for real. It's like it was fantastic.
Yeah.
So I was performing oral treats on her, and then we're kissing a little bit, and we start having sex, and she turns me over and just climbs on top.
Wow.
Oh, was it good? Oh, and she's the whole time we're kissing, and she's telling me that she's gonna strap one on, and hit me with it.
Whoa!
And she's like, she says to me, like, you ever had someone strap one on? And I was honest with her. I'm like, no. But I don't know why it turned me on when she was telling me this. It was just so, she's like,
so filthy.
She's kind of holding I'm on my back, and she's kind of holding my arms a little bit and telling me how she's going to come over and she's going to strap one on. And I've had that opportunity.
What a sicko.
Oh, that's a good egg now. Sicko.
What a sicko.
Well, who's sicker, her or me for just coming like a busted sprinkler head, as they say? You mean if I resist, you won't let me up? No. And I've had girls offer to do that, and I've never allowed anyone to do that because it's just not my thing. That's the stimulation just doesn't do it for me.
Sure.
But it was just her telling me that, and then we're kissing, and she looked at me in the eye, and she meant it, and it was just driving me crazy.
Wow.
So that was my day yesterday.
And then what happened?
Gee.
Like, she was gone. Oh, no, you went to Starbucks.
Yeah, we hung out for a little while. She would have hopped on that was like 7:15 at night. She would have jumped on a train at 7:50, but she was really cool. I wanted to hang with her and get the story, really, and find out what had gone on. And she was open about it. And she's like, told me how they met. She's like, he's the first guy. Her husband's the first guy she ever slept with. They met when she was 14, he was 17. They were in high school together. Jeez. High school sweethearts. They got married. She told me the whole progression of it, and it was just the way it went for them.
What was the first one?
I think they were married for a little while before it even came up, and they would kind of talk about it in bed, which I've had sex with girlfriends before where I've had them fantasize about having sex with other guys. Could I actually watch it? No. But to see them like used as a sexual object by somebody would be kind of sexy in fantasy. But as far as watching it, I couldn't do it. I'm too jealous.
Jeez.
I would never be able to do that.
There is just some twisted thing in the mind that for a guy to do that, it's just, wow.
I couldn't watch it, though. I could never. I had a threesome one time with a girlfriend, and just watching her with another girl, kind of like, I was cool with it, but yet I was still like a little weird to somebody else. So I know I couldn't go with this. I'd be too freaked out.
Turn it off.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Turn it off.
Really?
Because, Florentine's lifestyle. He lives like Tiberius Caesar, the type of threesomes he has. Just the hottest chicks alive. And one time,
full of lard.
It's really, infant suckling. Tiberius would actually do that. He was a real creep. And Jim one time told me that he hooked up with this couple, and the wife, because the husband just watched apparently, and Jim was working the wife. And I've watched Jim have sex, and if there's one guy you don't want banging your girlfriend, it's Florentine. What a professional he is. It was just, we were in North Carolina one time years ago, and I hook up with a girl, and me and Jim kind of like play good cop, bad cop, and because there was a fat girl trying to cock block both of us, and we both kind of block out the fatty and help each other. So I got one girl in my bed, he's got one in his bed, and I think the fat girl just kind of stayed downstairs at the restaurant. And I'm with the one, I can't get a rod. I'm so self-conscious about my fat gut. I have my clothes on, and he's banging this other one in the bed. It was a work of art. She's on her stomach, and he's just, and he's just grumbling on his arms. What a professional. And I'm sitting there, my dick is like, it's like a straight pig's tail. It's just thin and horrible and not working. I went down on her for about 3 hours. I was just completely dysfunctional. I just would never allow him to bang my girl. But so that's the risk you take in doing that.
That is funny, man.
It was great.
So, and does she do? How many times does she do this a week?
Not as often. She said that she's had about a little over 50 guys in her life. She said she has a lot of sex, but she does it with the same people consistently. And I actually watched clips of the guys, like the black gangbang, and they all had bags on. So she said she's
Really?
like disease paranoid, and she's pretty much keeps it with consistent partners. Like they have this little circle of people or whatever, like all other married people, and she's really open about it. And she's got pictures up and some streaming video. Oof.
Jeez.
Well, we're gonna have to get her on the air now.
Oh yeah, she's
willing to come on.
dude. She's a fantastic. She's for real. Yeah, she wants to come on. I didn't know if I could I'm like, can we post some of the pictures on Foundry? And I'm like, she's like, yeah. I'm like, you sure? And she's like, yeah, cool.
Wow.
She's totally okay with it.
All right, we'll get some photos up on FoundryMusic.com and OpieandAnthony.com.
Robin, Robin, Robin,